So before I get into the next part of this video where I go over some of the major changes with the 2018 as well as some of the issues I've got with the quality of the craftsmanship, just want to state that I have reached out to Live in Light in KZ. Reached out to them about 4 days ago. I have not had a representative call me yet. I've been going back and forth with a lady in their warranty department who's very nice. However, all I've been told is that my issues have been escalated to the bosses there and they've been discussing them. I have not had a representative contact me yet. Therefore, it looks like I'll have to send out some certified letters today to Living Light, KZ, and Thor Industries in regard to the problems with the 2018, as well as receiving something that was different than what was described on the sales order form. So I do want to give them a chance. I believe in this company. Everything I've seen, I just love their product. But the changes to the 2018 that were unannounced and what I received compared to what I ordered, it really just doesn't work out for me. So I'm willing to give them a chance. I do want to state that. Again, it's kind of in process over there. They're discussing it. I'm hoping they'll come forward and kind of do the right thing here. So I just want to throw that out there first before I get into the quality issues. I have since looked at some videos for some other dealerships that have started to receive some 2018s. And I've already noticed some differences in what they're receiving now. So I'm assuming some of the issues that I have may already start to be resolved on the production line. Things like the sync, for instance, what I've seen and some of the videos and pictures in some of the dealerships, looks like some of these units are actually shipping with the metal sink as opposed to the plastic sink. Some of these units also seem to be shipping with the access panel for the furnace on the outside as opposed to just the metal grate. I haven't seen too many other differences. On the kitchenette, some of the stuff that I'll cover in regard to the aluminum edging, I believe some of the pictures and videos that I've seen, again, with new ones that are being shipped to the dealers, the aluminum edging is there. I'll cover that in this video because it's not on mine. So just want to throw that out there before I jump into this. Again, I believe in Living Light. I believe in this product. I'm quite disappointed with what I received, however, with this 2018. But I'm willing to give them a shot. Again, I'm hoping that they step forward and do the right thing. So I think we covered all the features and functions of the trailer. So now I'm going to cover some of the things that are not so good about the trailer. I'll let you all be the judge, but if you're in the market for a Quicksilver, again, I don't know what the 8.0 models and all look like with the 2018s or the Model 14s, but with the 10.0, I highly suggest that you probably look at picking up a 2017 model or looking around for a used one. Couple of significant things here, and the biggest one I'll get to last, because apparently this one's really surprising everyone, myself included. One of the reasons why I picked Live in Light Quicksilver is I was in the market for a pop-up, first-time RVer, big-time tent camper, and looking for something that's easy, to set up with my family. And looking at a lot of pop-ups, especially used ones, and I was very impressed, especially with the flooring, on how these things last, and they really don't last very long. I was looking for something that would last, 20 years. Canvas and all that, I can imagine having replaced, but as far as the main body of that camper, I want something that's easily going to last for 20 years and take a good beating. So I was looking at pop-ups at a local dealer. Didn't even know anything about Live in Light, and I was looking at a bunch of their used ones and just, again, not very impressed with how they held up. So I started looking at new ones, and they happen to have an 8.0 Quicksilver sitting on their lot. So I popped my head in there, and I was kind of blown away. All aluminum floor. Everything looked rock solid. So I came home and I did some research and spent a couple of weeks actually doing research on them, and was just blown away. I mean, here's a American-made product, you know, made in Indiana. They seem to have a lot of pride in their design. The design was phenomenal. I mean, all aluminum, no wood, you know, no steel. Exactly what I was looking for the base of the trailer. Again, I understand things wearing over time, like the canvas and the bed mattresses, and you know, things get dinged up here and there. But this looked like the style of camper where I didn't mind if it got dinged up a little bit. It just looked great and just solid. So then I started looking for used ones, and well, couldn't find many, and which actually impressed me, annoyed me, but impressed me, that the fact that the users, as they started looking through the forums and everything, were loving these things so much, they simply were not letting them go. They just fell in love with their Quicksilvers, and they were holding on to them. So there wasn't much of a used market for these. So that pretty much forced me to looking new. I'm in Maryland. There does happen to be a dealer local to me that is a Living Light dealer. Of course, they only had the Model 8, and probably be several months before they can get a Model 10. And I had a vacation coming up in like 6 weeks, and I was hoping to get something for that. So I looked everywhere, and you know, ended up finding a place down in North Carolina, outside of Charlotte, that had a 2017 10.0, and so called it up, sight unseen, put a deposit on it, and you know, went down there 2 weeks later to pick it up. Now, again, when I got there, turned out that there was some damage done to the sink. The sink was separated from the kitchenette, but again, that was a problem at the dealer. One of their guys actually ended up just busting up the trailer by accident, so it had nothing to do with the manufacturing of it. So the only other one that they had that fit what I needed was this 2018. They totally took care of me, gave it to me at the same cost, so no difference in price. So got to give it to those guys. I'll shout their name out probably in a different video. I don't want to cover their name in this one because we're going to get into some of the issues with this particular trailer. But I wish I actually lived closer to them, because I'd definitely buy from those guys again. They did an outstanding job of taking a messed up situation and really taking care of the customer. So that's pretty rare. So I'm a big fan of those guys. Okay, so all that being said, I'm about to cover some of the things with 2018. Again, some might be new news to some people, and if you're like me, probably shock you a little bit with where Living Light's headed with this particular model. Yeah, let's just jump into it. Alright, so one complaint I could say I could start off with is when we first opened up this trailer, there were shavings everywhere. So it was obvious that the dealer did not have a chance to clean up the trailer, which they typically would do. So again, not the fault of the dealer at all. They weren't expecting that I'd be looking at this particular trailer, so it was off on their lot. But there was a significant, I would expect some shavings for sure. I mean, all the aluminum work in here, yeah, you're going to have shavings here and there, not a big deal. But the sheer amount of shavings that I saw in this camper, as well as inside those cabinets, told me that a shop vac simply was not used during the manufacture of this. It was a large amount of shavings. So that should have kind of been a warning for some of the other things that would start to uncover in regard to this 2018 model, you know, over the past 5 days, that we've kind of uncovered, and some of the issues that we have with it over the 2017s. Okay, so let's start on the inside as far as things that aren't too great about this trailer. First of all, as far as the tent goes, again, like I said before, I'm actually pretty impressed with this tent. There's a support bar. Seems nice and solid. However, there's one thing that I find, one thing they overlook that I find quite annoying. And that's actually with the window that is above the bench. Here you'll notice that there's two straps that are used for when you roll up the canvas top. And on the back side of that, yeah, I think this is the loop side, and on the back side is the hook side. so that they Velcro up and it holds it nice and tight up against the edge there, and up and out of the way. Well, so when you open it up and you've got the window, pretty much the same thing. You notice on this side, now this side has the hooks, and there's two of them on each side. However, for the loop side, here's this one, and I've got nothing there, so I don't have one on the left. And if we open this up, here you'll see how it's actually sewn into the tent. My mother sews, but she's down in Florida. I just don't have the hardware for this. But I suppose what I could do to fix it is just take away some of these threads here, slide another strap in there, and then that kind of sew that back up. But just wow, what a thing to overlook. And when you roll it up, now what the problem is left-hand side, if you're rolling up the window too, can't be held tight up against this, so it just droops down, and it's kind of in the way. So that is pretty much my only complaint about the tent. Did come with some dirt and all on the inside. Again, we opened this up brand new, and the state of the interior, again, kind of proved to us that it hadn't been opened since the factory. So I'm assuming this kind of happened after factory. Not a big deal. I've got 3 kids. I'm expecting to get smudges on this thing anyway. One of the complaints I am hearing from people are black marks from the poles. Some people have just recommended using like a tape that like you'd use for a racket or a bat or something to tape those up. And a lot of users a lot of owners seem to be doing that. Okay, while we're on this side of the trailer, let's take a look at this bench. Another thing that kind of that bugs me is this bench is screwed from the bottom. It's fun. I mean, that's how most of these things are built. You got screws that kind of hold a wood or a material underneath. This seems more like a plastic. Similar in feel to the way the covers are in the benches for the storage. However, I think they used screws that were a bit too long, because on the front side, when you're sitting on it, you can actually feel the screw heads. Like there's a screw head. And you don't have to apply much pressure to feel it. There's another one there. So over time, you have people sitting on the edge of this, which they most likely will. You can eventually see that kind of puncture in, puncture through the fabric. Some of the other owners, the one other owner that I've talked to in regard to the quality on these has replaced those with just smaller screws. I've already kind of covered the wheel wells again. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong here, but I thought the 2017s were all one piece. So with that gap there, and with the foam insulation in there, and of course with some of the metal shavings and stuff that I see in there, especially in the kitchen area, that just seemed a little sloppy to me. I've already covered the changes on the bench. The fact that it's actually bolted to the floor and has a notch cut out, so this bench is no longer removable. On the wall here, here's a big difference. On the 2017 models, and if you look at their brochure and you look at the pictures online, this little strip here is the exact width of the wall and kind of fits inside of it, so it's nice and smooth and clean edge. This one, however, you can see is wider. So you've got about a 1/4 inch or so gap here, maybe a little longer than that on each side. So I eventually see this, cutting into this. The other thing is the way it was mounted. You'll notice that it's not very tight at all. And along the front, you can see crooked screws, and it's just kind of sticking out a little bit. Also, a along the bottom there, you can see it's just not a very clean cut to that at all. And then, for some reason, they use some tape, some like double-sided tape here. And the problem with this is it's sticking out on these edges, and everything is sticking to it. So these are going to get gunked up. You know, you have pets, you're going to get pet hair all up in there. I've got 3 daughters. I've already found hair all up in here. So yeah, this is I don't know why they did this change. Cost cutting is the only thing I can think of, because I see no reason to have made that change, to tell you the truth. So, kitchenette, very happy with stove. It's nice. Thumbs up. Sink, I think might have covered this before in the video, but yeah, this doesn't seem very heat resistant. I definitely wouldn't put anything hot in here. I honestly don't know what it's made of. It might be able to take hot materials, but it does definitely, you don't want to put a hot pan in here for sure. That'll definitely melt through it. I just don't know what a hot, boiling water would do to this, so I'd probably stay away from pouring anything like that in here. I've got a problem with my faucet. When using the tank, the 7-gallon tank, works perfect. Hand pump works great, no problems at all. However, when I've got it hooked up to the outside, it keeps going. It won't actually turn off, even with a pressure reducer. So I'm not sure what the fix is for that, other than just replacing it. Here is one that yeah, I've got some pretty serious issues with, and I didn't even realize this until I had it home for a couple of days, and then started looking at this compared to the pictures of the 2017 model. But if you open this up, here, we just put that plastic stuff in there, you'll see shavings all inside these corners, and also along the side, all those shavings that are sandwiched between the base and this outer layer here. And that one kind of blew me away. It just looks so sloppy. And then I started looking at pictures online, and I realized what they did. In the 2017 model, they have, you notice this corner edging here, they actually have it all the way around. They have it all the way around the back. They have it all the way around the base. If you look at this side over here, so this back, all along the base, on both the top and the bottom cabinets, they had that wrapping. They don't have that at all on this. In fact, the sides, other than the back, these sides are just glued on. And let me get a good shot here. You'll notice they're using, again, like a double-sided tape to adhere this. And yeah, mine's already separated. Had it on 5 days. Why they did that, the only thing I can think of is somebody seriously just overlooked it, or it's a cost-cutting measure. Because I mean, the kitchenette in the 2017 seems so solid. This one, no, not at all. And then the problem I also have was on the inside with these shavings. I can't clean these out. I can get a few of them out, but because they're sandwiched between the outside aluminum and the frame, they're using that sticky glue. Unless I pull this whole thing off, it's the only way I can probably get to all those shavings. Into the back here. Because they've gotten real sloppy with the bottoms of these and everything, you also really want to put a rug or something down here, or something cushiony when you close this. Myself and another owner have noticed that it's already starting to indent in the floor a little bit. Where the screw is underneath there, and then there's a sharper corner over there that's kind of digging in the floor already. Mine's not too bad, because again, I've only had it down like twice. But yeah, you definitely want to put something down there when you're lowering those cabinets. On the floors, I'm already have bubbling on the vinyl floors. So the floor's bubbled up here. It's also bubbled up a little down there on that side, and then there's a little spot underneath the table. Bubbling the vinyl actually wasn't that big of a deal to me, because again, we're talking about an all aluminum floor, right? And these guys, I mean, that's what these guys are known for. So no problem just ripping up this vinyl floor and just going with the aluminum or replacing it. Yeah, it turns out that's not the case. So we'll start taking a look at the outside, and I'll definitely cover this floor in depth. But yeah, not as easily serviceable as I had thought. So for the outside, the box on this is awesome. I love the box on this. Nice solid box on it. You got that diamond metal underneath and along the front. You know, coupled with the off-road tires. I mean, this thing looks great with my truck. Just solid, manly-looking camper. Yeah, just very impressed as far as the box goes. It's pretty nice. Again, door kind of sticks out a little bit in the corner. You know, would like to have a grate. I've already covered the changes on the other side with them removing the serviceable hatch for the furnace and the hose popping off. But as far as the actual box goes and this aluminum frame, it is awesome. However, there's one major flaw, and this is my biggest issue, because again, the whole reason that I bought a Quicksilver was the all aluminum framing, body, floor, just rock solid. I can hose the whole thing down. I don't have to worry about anything corroding, anything rotting, anything flexing and breaking. So we're going to jump up underneath here, and this is probably the biggest difference with the 2018, and this is the one where I think a lot of people are going to have the biggest headaches if they've got one on pre-order, or if you know, they've kind of been holding out to get one a little bit later. But if you're an owner of a model that's prior to 2018 and you're planning on trading it in, I recommend holding on to it. You may find very soon that you will get more money for that camper if you sell it privately, once word starts getting out in regard to this one big major change with the 2018 model.